Hello everyone, it's TGR, that's Gamer Robo. Welcome back guys. In this video we're looking at Championship Manager 4. Yes, I've never done a Championship Manager 4 video, but I have played this all those years ago. Now in this video guys, we're going to be looking through some of the best youth players to buy straight away who are still under a youth contract. Now let's hit the intro and we can start seeing all these players who are available on a youth contract. Now looking through some of the players that we do have here, just list them all up for you now. So first of all, we're going to be going through the likes of Wayne Rooney. He's at Everton, his contract is not protected. All these players that we've come across on this list, all of their contracts are not protected or they're on a free transfer at this moment in time. But he is one player who is a fantastic player on this game, like James Milner. We all know who James Milner is as well. Do you know what is weird? All of these players, we're looking at 21 years ago, all of these players, and some of them now have retired, and it's crazy to even go across with games like this. But James Milner, at this stage, he was classed as an attacking midfielder and a forward, but he turns out to be a cracking player in a couple of seasons' time. Jay McEvely, who's another fantastic player. Predominantly he is better playing as a left back, not as a centre back on the game, but once again, give him a year, give him maybe two at the most, you'll start to see his stats are developing into a fantastic left back on the game. And the next person, everyone knows of this player, Collins John, fantastic striker on the game. He scores goals for fun, he really does. And you know, once again, he's another player who turns out to be a fantastic player on the game. Now the next guy we're looking at here, Damien Luna from San Lorenzo, 16 years old, from Argentina. Now you can't see any of the stats at the moment, but once he comes in, his stats don't look great. Admittedly, they don't look great, but he turns out to be a brilliant player on the game, and he reminds me of Bruno from Gremio. He turns out to be that damn good on this game. Next player we're looking at, Andrea Briotti. Now once again you can't see his stats, and obviously another player that's not English on this game. Majority of them aren't, but he is brilliant. He really is that good on this game on Championship Manager 4. Obviously from Roma, 16 years old, but he does take a few years for his stats to become, you know, relevant to a first team place, but he is really good on this game. Now, of course, everyone knows of this guy, Alicio Cersei, or some people call it Cherky, but he like Collins John, just scores goals for fun. That's all they do on the game. They just get the opportunity and they bang the goal in the back of the net. But definitely Alicio, he is one to definitely get. He should be the first person on your list to buy, because like I said, he scores goals for fun and he guarantees you winning trophies in seasons to come. Now the next person on our list, Michel Petrova from Roma again. Roma have a fantastic youth development team in Championship Manager 4. And Michel is another fantastic player from that setup that they have. Once again, it's another player that you can't see his stats, but he is fantastic in the game. You do need to give him game time, but his stats develop in 2 years, and yeah, he's definitely a contender to being a first team player. Now it says defender and defensive midfielder. I genuinely can't think which is the best position for him, because he plays brilliant in both positions. So you've got a versatile player who can tackle as well as go on to being a great passer in the game too. Now the next person that we have on our list, Cristian Marcia, from Dinamo Bucharest, 16 years old, Romanian striker. Not like Alicio or Collins John, but he's still a very good player on the game, and he does score goals like it's going out of fashion. But once again, this is another player who is fantastic on the game. Another Roma player, Raphael Di Martino. Fantastic central midfielder, 16 years old. And like the other Roma players, a couple of years' time, you see their stats developing really, really nicely. And, you know, when it comes to cup games, whack him on the first team, or at least put him on the subs bench, and you'll see a difference in your team in the passing completion rate. He's one of those players. He has pinpoint accuracy on the game. Anton Ferdinand, central defender from West Ham, and you know, unlike Rio Ferdinand, of course, Anton doesn't have the same ability on this game, but he's still brilliant on the game. He's still a fantastic player to have. If you haven't got Rio Ferdinand, Anton Ferdinand is just, you know, maybe one step behind Rio, but he's still a brilliant defender to have in a team, and one that you can sell for a massive, massive profit if you decide to sell him on in the future. Aaron Lennon of Leeds. Now, whatever happened to Aaron Lennon in real life? He had so much potential, and nothing came of it, unfortunately. But Aaron Lennon is a really good player on the game. He's quick, he scores goals, he can set the ball up for other players as well. He is always in and around the box to get those the more important goals or assists in for your team. Tommy Petrescu from Leicester City, 15 years old, Finnish striker. From what I gather, Tommy Petrescu, even the season after this or the season after that, he joined Manchester United, and he was brilliant on that Championship Manager game as well. But he, once again, 2 seasons, 3 at the most, his stats developed so good, and he can easily be a first team player in your team. But yeah, Tommy Petrescu, I do rate highly on this game. Eddie Gavin from Metro Stars in the US of A. 15 years old, midfielder and striker. Me personally, I play him in central midfield because his passing technique is fantastic. It really, really is. Not the quickest player in the game, don't get me wrong, but he does develop very nicely on this game. Next player we've got Ryan Wilkie from Liverpool. One player I've not actually bought, but going over one of my friends' saves, I've seen how Ryan Wilkie develops later in the years to come. If I remember rightly, my friend was in 2008 season at that time, and Ryan Wilkie was first team regular for Liverpool, and he'd been playing for Scotland, God knows how many caps at a time. I'd be lying if I just plucked out a number. But Ryan Wilkie, definitely a good player on the game, and he's definitely a fast player. His pace and acceleration, it does develop very, very good on the game. So he's definitely one player to look out for on Championship Manager 4. Moses Ashi Cody from Millwall, Millwall striker. We haven't had one of those before on this channel, have we? No, of course we have. Cherno Samba, the other Millwall striker, but Moses Ashi Cody, fantastic striker on the game. Now you see a lot of low numbers to start with. He's 14 years old, but when he's 20, you'll see so many 20s up on this board. Now it doesn't happen all the time because I've not seen it on my saves personally, but once again, friend of mine having this game, playing it, and I've seen the amount of 20s he have on his stats. So he obviously does develop him a hell of a lot better than what I have done. But Moses Ashi Cody, definitely another striker to have in your team. We all know of this name, Diego Armando Maradona. Yes, Maradona's son on this game. Not many people talk about him actually, which is quite surprising because I don't know if many people actually know he is on the game. but Diego Maradona's son, junior of Diego Maradona, the hand of God. He is on the game. He's a good player. Good at assists, good at scoring goals as well. Takes a couple of years, don't get me wrong, but he develops brilliantly. And I think personally he could be a front runner for one of the better right midfielders on the game. But saying that, the next player that we're looking at, Nathan Doyle, 15-year-old from Derby County. Once again, stats don't really show much to look at, does it really? But his flair and technique, his passing ability, it all gets better later in the years, and he's definitely a player that develops brilliantly on the game. And for me personally, definitely one having as a squad rotation, because I think he's really good on this game. Next player on our list, Dionatos of Flamengo, 13 years old. Yes, 13. Brazilian midfielder. I have only seen him once on my saves before. After that, I've not really sort of gone to him, because it's just one of those players that always develops brilliantly from what I've seen. But sign him straight away on the game, and when he's 18, 19 years old, you'll see the world flourish with him, because he is fantastic. Definitely someone to have, who's a #1 contender, if not should always be in your starting lineup. Helder Barbosa of Porto's B team, 15-year-old Portuguese left winger. To be honest with you, this guy's fast, he's strong, and he's not shy of scoring goals from the left wing as well. But Helder Barbosa, he takes 5 years. He's 20 years old by the time I actually notice a real good development from him. And with that, you know, you potentially got your wing sorted with Barbosa, potentially Wilkie, or even Maradona Jr. on the right hand side. But with those two together, you've got a fantastic wingers in the team that can cross the ball in and provide so many goal scoring opportunities for your team. Lasha Chalids, 17-year-old Georgian player from Kutaisi? I don't know how to pronounce that, but he is an absolute hard man on this game. He's not scared of getting red cards on this game either. As you can see already, his aggression's 20, but he does have a quick run on this game, even though his pace is 13, but acceleration 19 and stamina's 15 as well. He is so strong on the game, and you could see already there's been one game already in the continental side of things, and he's picked up a yellow card. Tackle rate is 4 in one game already, and he's only 17. Truly is a fantastic player. Greg Trainer of Wigan Athletics, 16-year-old central midfielder, develops nicely on the game. He's not a world beater, don't get me wrong, but he does develop nicely, and he's one of those players you can use as a squad rotation, or if you want to pick up, you know, mega amounts of money for the price you're paying for him, peanuts basically, and you can sell him for 10, 11, 12 million pounds. So you get massive money back on that and some, and you can then use that money once again to go out and search for new players and start building them up. So he's definitely a player to either use as a rotation purposes, or you can actually sponge as much money out of him as humanly possible. Milan Purovic from is it Budnost? I do apologise once again. It's not one I come across a lot of the times, but he's 16 years old. He is a fantastic striker on the game. 19, 20 years old, if I remember rightly. He develops very good, and he reminds me of you know, like a super sub, like a in our terms, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer comes off the bench and he bags you a goal. He is so good at doing that type of feature on the game. That's what I look at him as. He is a super sub. He bangs you a goal in when you really need it most. And Milan, I definitely feel that he's definitely one that comes off the bench and does wonders for your team. Freddie Adu, another 13-year-old player. We all know Freddie Adu. We all know of his massive abilities that he should have been able to produce, but unfortunately, in real life, it didn't happen, did it? But Freddie Adu, fantastic attacking midfielder. He slots in behind the striker so well on this game. You know, a bit of like oh, I don't know who, if it would be a Philip Coutinho or a Paul Scholes back in our day, or even like a Kevin De Bruyne. That's probably the closest thing to it on this game. Freddie Adu on Championship Manager 4 is like Kevin De Bruyne. He passes good, he scores well. He isn't that strong on the game, but he is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, going through the attacking midfielder side, left wing, if you had one of the other players that we mentioned earlier, right wing Maradona Jr., and in central midfield Freddie Adu. That's a complete attacking midfield option there, one that any team would be scared of having to go up against. But Freddie Adu definitely has to be one of the first few names you need to sign at the start of the game, and play him as soon as you can. He does bang you goals straight away. He really does. But Freddie Adu, fantastic player on this game. Michael Malcolm, 19 years old. On one of the other updates, he starts off at Tottenham. For some reason, he is a free transfer on the game, but develops really good. He's not a world beater once again, but he's definitely someone that you can bring on from the subs bench, and he'll change the game dramatically. Or failing that, he's definitely someone you can sell on and get huge profit from once again. But Michael Malcolm's another fantastic player. Alcides Eduardo, 17-year-old centre-back from Brazil, another free transfer player, or unprotected player, or uncontracted player, whichever way you want to look at it. Bring him into your team, stick him in your reserves, give him good training, send him out on loan. 19, 20, maybe 21. He's definitely a first team starter for your team at centre back. He is absolutely ruthless on this game, but once again, you need to make sure that you do look after these youngsters, because if you don't look after them, they don't develop into world beaters. But Alcides, I recommend highly in Championship Manager 4. And finally, Federico Maron G from Italy, 16 years old, free transfer once again, and another attacking midfielder. He is once again one of these players bring up from the subs, bang him on last 20-30 minutes of the game, changes the game. He really does. I've said this a couple of times with these attacking midfielders, but they really do change the game. Attack in midfield, especially in attacking midfield. They've got their pace, they've got the crossing abilities, passing abilities. They could score goals from the wings as well. And he's not, he's also part of this list. Federico's definitely a player that I certainly look at getting, depending on what team I'm managing, and build him up, because he can definitely bring you a lot of trophies for your team. Well guys, that is the end of the video. That is all of the players that I have come across recently, once again, since starting up Championship Manager 4. If you do know of any other youth players or on youth contracts who are really good, leave a comment down below and we'll add it on at a later date. Don't forget guys, you need to make sure that you do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell too, and also make sure with that notification you select all for notifications, so you know exactly when the next video has been uploaded to the channel. If you do want to see more Championship Manager 4 video, guys, leave a comment down below. I'd love to know what you guys think of Championship Manager 4. But apart from that, I look forward to seeing each and every one of you the next video that we have on my channel here at TGR. That's Gaming Robo.